You're our first banker.
Didn't I say something about getting a haircut in the rider? Never mind, we'll work it out later.
Okay, I thought you wanted the haircut.
The haircut is something that we gave Grease, as I recall.
Oh, that is
well,
true.
It's a technical term. It's we're also going to give them a shave and two bits,
Uh-huh.
and they're on their own.
And that's it. Yeah. And you get the country as a result, right?
I get the countries. All countries are mine. Countries are kind of like corporations in that they're full of people. Wait, I might have got that backwards. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll go to country personhood later on.
By the way, I had to correct the promo they did earlier. I'm not only a banker, I also do some legal consulting. Well, it's legal now anyway. I work with the firm of Geithner, Summers, and Bailout, and we do a lot of work for the ordinary corporation human.
Oh, good news. All right. So you're going to get a will for the corporation and such? Oh, no, the corporation will never die. It doesn't need a will. That's right.
So many advantages over the pre-digital humans, yes.
Pre-corporate humans. Yeah. So, okay, I have just been dying to know, ever since I heard that we were going to have the Bard of the Bankers on this show. So can you tell me, Wild Bill Bailout, what is your reaction to, or what is the bankers' reaction to the Occupy movement's reaction to the banks?
Yeah, I have the feeling you're trying to paint me into a corner and call me a reactionary, and I'm not falling for that, because you see, the bankers don't interact directly with the Occupy folks. We have an intermediate negotiation team. It's known as the police. And, you know, let's say you're an occupier, you have the right to peaceably assemble, of course, and we have the right to disassemble you into pieces, which we don't do directly. And, you know, the police are, everybody has their job, I figure. It's like a chief executive in a corporation. His job is chiefly to execute the workers. And the workers' job is, well, the workers don't have a job, do they?
Not as many of them do, no. Yeah.
No. But that's very important that everybody does what they're good at. And I think that the people out there are very good occupying with slogans. They have very interesting slogans. Like they say, whose streets? And nobody will tell them the truth. They're mine. You know, they don't get that.
Whose streets?
Yeah.
Bill's streets.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah. They say another world is possible. That's technically true, but it's not legal, you see. So you can get in a lot of trouble if you just do strictly what's possible. You know, you can't, for example, evict an idea. No, but you can buy it, and that is why I have started a parallel alternative movement, because you know, that's entrepreneurship, right? And that movement is called Occupy, and we are diversifying into Occupy everywhere and Inter-Occupy and all of these things, because it's just like the Apple products, which do all the great innovations, and then everybody else imitates.
That's right. So,
form of flattery, you know.
That's right. So Occupy Wall Street, though, that'll be just a little redundant, won't it?
Oh, we're not occupying Wall Street, of course not.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Wall Street is the occupier. See, these people out there, when they're always talking about inequality, I mean, that divides us. We need to bring us together. They're talking about the 1%, and which I proudly am, but you know, that's the thing is that that's class warfare when they talk about that. Class warfare, that's my job, isn't it? So if they take my job, well, then I'm going to have to move all my other jobs to China. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they talk about the past in this country. They talk about slavery. Well, that divides our past, doesn't it? So we need to unify and come together and look forward, like the president has said. Look forward and don't worry about all the war crimes and stuff there in the past. The past was so yesterday.
It was.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the past is 15 minutes ago now.
Yeah. No, I have to give them high marks for their ideas. I mean, in a way, because, I mean, they do get their ideas from Marx, and Marx was high, let's face it.
Yeah, that's a real problem, isn't it?
I think the real problem with their ideas is that they are foreign imports. I don't know, a lot of people don't realize these occupied ideas were originated actually all the way over in Wisconsin. And so they imported that. And by the way, those are anti-family values. Those people in Wisconsin were fighting for what they call collective bargaining. A family doesn't run on collective bargaining, Getch. It runs on what the man says goes. Unless, I'll give you this, unless there's two men. Then you have a more complex negotiation. Or even two women, which is, as you know, the feminazis, who is now running things up there in Washington. And let me tell you something, by the way, that is not the kind of Nazis we want running things up there in Washington.
The wrong Nazis.
No, so people have to straighten out and fly right, and I'm there to help. And that's why the Occupy will compete with the Occupy, and may the best or most expensive ideas win out, because there's two kinds of speech. There's free speech.
Yeah.
And there's also expensive speech.
There is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you specialize in the latter, I'm sure.
Oh, for instance, and you know this from Citizens United, right? How much is that judgeship in the window? The one with the balancing scales. How much is that judgeship in the window? I do hope that judgeship's for sale. I believe all corporations were created as a prequel to the leadership of those too big to fail. And when we have alighted in the Congress and been knighted, not that we were invited, and our love is not requited, to make up for that we call ourselves Citizens United. They say dollars and democracy don't mix, one swallows the other. Guess which I'm accused of gaming the system. That's just blaming the victimizer. 'Cause money is speech, oh yes, lots of it. A vote is fine, but money is above it. Buying elections, you gotta love it. Money wins every time, and it's no crime. Not now. Don't donate to a candidate, that would be too brash. The Chamber of Commerce will redirect your cash. Make creative use of intermediaries. Launder your cash to keep elections clean. A rising tide lifts all votes. Some a little higher so they stay afloat. Every politician has his or her price. Who's to decide if that is or isn't nice? I'm an innovator, I'm on the cutting edge. When something needs improving, I just buy a new legislature. A rose by any nomenclature is still a rose. It's just the rose I impose. Don't be shy with the corporate cash. Democracy's $1 billion bash. Though they say corporate government is fascism, that can't happen here. Maybe in Germany or Italy, but never here at home, where the people all have health care and the buffalo still roam. Yeah, the sky's the limit, my guy's gonna win it. Power, he'll be at his hub. To prepare for his election, he's putting in his hours at the country club. If you miss me at the voting booth, you can't find me there. Come on over to the TV studio, I'll be buying it there. Oh brother, I'll be buying it there. I'll be buying it there. Come on over to the ad agency, I'll be buying it there. All you fools are my tools, I've seen to that through substandard schools and media that I won't mention. And I didn't. You never heard it, I was never here. Democracy is not so much about what you do, it's about what you choose on your pay-per-view. Remember, corporations are people too. And when we have alighted in the Congress and been knighted, not that we were invited, and our love is not requited, to make up for that we call ourselves Citizens United.
So it seems like you got the whole plan. You're laying it out for the election.
I've made my point, whatever it was.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 points I felt like in there, but you're definitely seem to be exposing the big plan for the election right now. Where
Well, elections have plans, elections have rules, and what we're trying to prevent is an expansion of the Arab Spring, because we don't want an Arab Spring law. Arab Spring rules, I would draw the line right about there. We were, of course, in full support of the Arab Spring within the Arab context, except for Bahrain, which is, that's an Arabic word that means naval base. But anyway, but we do condemn the excesses, such as the use of the tear gas, which we're continuing to supply over there, and of course the many excesses of the people who defriended Mr. Mubarak. An entire nation defriended him in one day, and that is the use of Facebook as a weapon of mass defriending. So we are looking into whether we're going to send some troops on that one.
Yeah, well, there's probably some laws you can pass, I'm sure.
Laws?
Yeah.
Laws are not passed. They're written by ALEC. I don't know if you know this, the American Legislative Exchange Council.
I have heard about
It's the fifth dimension. Branch of government. That's what it is.
So are you a member of ALEC?
That would be telling, wouldn't it? But remember this: pepper spray, tear gas, all these things. These are First Amendment. Pepper spray is not only a First Amendment right; it is a vegetable, and you need to get your vegetables, folks. And I've told people this. And incidentally, I had a guy in charge of this pepper spray, Sergeant Pepper Spray was his name. And he asked me to mention him. Yeah, it was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught a man to spray. It's never really out of style when used against a rank and file. So let Club Band.
I remember the good old days, just last October through now, I guess. The bashing of heads and the spraying of faces. Yeah, those you guys must have enjoyed that time.
Well, we enjoy it, of course, but through our representatives. But I think that the kids do enjoy it a great deal because it gets them a lot of publicity and makes them look good. The victim always looks good, and I'm all for people looking good.
All right. So it's a public service you're doing here.
We try to help out. We do every chance we get. We've helped, like Mr. Mr. Romney, in his career at Bain, helped out so many corporations, helped some of them right out of existence, actually.
He did.
And when he's president, let me tell you, when he does a leveraged buyout of the United States, let me tell you, it's going to stay leveraged and bought out.
And bought out.
That's right.
Yeah. So Romney, he's your man.
Well, you know, it wasn't to start with. I liked that guy. Who's that guy that used to deliver pizza? It was Becky, Stan. I liked him.
I can't remember his name right now.
And I like Bachmann. Bachmann was, she's still at it, though, because she's in the Congress there, which was nominally a piece of the government, I guess. I don't know. That's the one people hear about, anyway.
That's right.
It's the number in the first three, which are sort of nominal, people that are up there to take the flak while I do the governing.
Take the flak in a little bit more, I would assume. I mean, some money.
Oh, well, you got to get the best people. You get them, you pay them. That's how it is. It's like Romney. See, Romney's got a cultural advantage. You know, he's been talking about culture recently, and he's got an advantage over the others. He has the highest GDP of any unemployed person that I'm aware of, and that means that his culture is superior. As he explained, you know, you can look at the Israelis and Palestinians. Israelis have twice the GDP of Palestinians. It's actually 10, but he's being nice. Okay, twice, which makes it a superior culture because it produces. That's what life is all about, production.
Production, that's right.
Right, ever since agriculture. Hunters and gatherers, they were all communists. That's not history, that's prehistory.
That's prehistory.
You understand this?
I'm trying to keep up.
It's all on the quiz.
Nobody told me there'd be a quiz after this.
Right, we don't tell.
Yeah.
Do we? You notice that?
The secret pop quiz.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But you're all in favor of money in Congress and money in the elections. That all works for you.
Well, like I say, free and expensive speech is the important thing. Job creation. Romney is not so much a job creator as a job creationist, which means he believes in it and it could happen, and he's not going to tell you, when or where. That's the job of the job creator, who is the second most important person in society, right after the creator. But it's important that people pay their fair share. And Romney, you see the little dust up about his taxes. He did not pay $1 less or $1 more in taxes than is required by the laws written by his lobbyists.
It's
true. All above board, except for the part that he didn't show.
The stuff in the Cayman Islands and Swiss banks.
Yes, which he owns. However, no, but he's very worried about the American people and their jobs and wondering why they still have them. So I think he's, got the track record to show that he can really deal with that, as opposed to President Food Stamp. I mean, what can he do? He's the man to give you food stamps and to help some of maybe the off-white people and the not people who can't get it straight in their sexuality and that kind of thing.
Well, there are some people who would probably not want to die of starvation. Well, and this is a great country, isn't it? Because people have the freedom to not die of whatever it is they want to not die of until such time. Well, we have the emergency room. The people can go if they starved. And I know it gets charged back to me, but I won't notice. If somebody dies or doesn't die in the emergency room, it doesn't affect my bottom line. You see. That's right. You've already accounted for that.
Right. All in the figures. The thing is, you can't change the healthcare system. Changing it over to some socialistic idea, that would be like changing an entire sixth of our economy. That would be like, I don't know, bailing out the banks or something. Did
that happened?
Somewhat, yeah. That was supposed to be not in the press, which is, I think, the fourth estate, fifth, sixth, whatever.
Well, we're calling it fourth.
It's getting out of hand, the press. We're trying to consolidate it down to 2 owners. And then I don't mean the Democrats and Republicans, but I mean the people, like I was saying, the people behind the government that are the government.